The Ritz-Carlton's grand ballroom sparkled with Manhattan's elite as I sat at my assigned table in the far corner, deliberately placed away from the raised VIP section where my family held court at my father's 60th birthday celebration. Through the ambient lighting, I could see my sister Amanda directing waitstaff like a general commanding troops, ensuring the right people received the right level of attention. "Don't worry about it," Sarah, my childhood friend and now fellow standard guest, tried to comfort me. "At least we get the same food." I smiled, checking my phone discreetly beneath the table. The latest alert from my private banking team confirmed what I'd been waiting for. Forbes was about to release their annual Billionaires List, and a certain mysterious newcomer was about to make quite an entrance. "Emily," Amanda's sharp voice cut through the party noise. "I hope you're not bothering the serving staff with special requests. They have VIP tables to attend to." I looked up from my phone, taking in her designer gown that probably cost more than what she thought I made in a year. "Just enjoying the evening, Amanda. Like everyone else." "Everyone else?" She laughed, gesturing to the elevated VIP section where our brother Michael sat with hedge fund managers and tech moguls. "Hardly. Some of us actually belong in premium circles." If she only knew that my private investment portfolio could buy everyone in those premium circles 3 times over. The quiet empire I'd built while they thought I was struggling with a modest finance job had grown far beyond anything they could imagine. "Speaking of circles," Michael called down from his perch, "how's that little investment job going, Em? Still pushing papers at that boutique firm?" I thought about the boutique firm, Sterling Capital Partners, that I'd founded 5 years ago and grown into one of the most powerful private investment companies in the world, all while letting my family believe I was just another mid-level financial analyst. "It's going fine," I replied mildly, checking another alert on my phone. Sterling's latest acquisition had just cleared, a tech startup that would revolutionize renewable energy. Another billion added to my hidden fortune. "You know," my stepmother Victoria glided over, diamonds dripping from her ears, "if you'd just let your father help you get started properly, you might be sitting up here with us. But you always insisted on doing things your basic way." I bit back a laugh, thinking of the meeting I had tomorrow with the Federal Reserve Chairman. My basic way had created an investment strategy that was reshaping global markets. Through the crowd, I could see my father holding court, accepting congratulations from New York's financial elite. He hadn't even noticed I'd arrived, though I'd funded half of this extravagant party through a shell company. Better to let them think Amanda's event planning skills had secured the premium venue. More champagne for the VIP section, Amanda commanded a passing server. "And Emily, do try not to monopolize the service. Important people need attention." I nodded, watching as my latest market alert showed another surge in Sterling's private holdings. Tomorrow's Forbes revelation would show just how much attention I actually commanded. "Did you see the buzz about the mystery billionaire?" I overheard Michael bragging to his VIP companions. "They say someone's been quietly building a massive fortune right under Wall Street's nose. Probably one of us up here, right?" His sycophants laughed appreciatively, none of them glancing at the standard sister in the corner who'd orchestrated some of the biggest deals in recent financial history. "Emily," Victoria called out with false sweetness, "since you're seated near the kitchen, would you be a dear and check on the timing of the main course? We wouldn't want our VIP guests to wait." I stood, smoothing my simple black dress that cost more than Victoria's entire jewelry collection. "Of course. Though you might want to keep an eye on the financial news. I hear there's an interesting announcement coming." My phone buzzed again, a message from my executive team confirming that everything was in place. In exactly 20 minutes, Forbes would reveal the identity of America's newest billionaire, and the carefully constructed hierarchy in this room would shatter. Through the designer-clad crowd, I caught glimpses of the life my family thought I lived. The modest apartment they mocked, actually a full-floor penthouse registered to a holding company. The basic job they dismissed, running a global investment empire. The limited success they pitted, a fortune that would make their VIP friends gasp. "Poor Emily," I heard Amanda's stage whisper to her society friends. She just never had the ambition to rise above average. I checked the time. 15 minutes until they learned just how far above average I'd risen. Because sometimes the best revenge isn't served from the VIP section. Sometimes it's served from a quiet corner table, accompanied by audited financial statements and irrefutable proof of just how wrong they've been. The Forbes article was locked and loaded. The financial world was about to learn that true wealth doesn't always sit in the VIP section. Sometimes it sits in standard seating, quietly building an empire while they're too busy looking down to notice who's really looking up. The first ripple of change came through a sudden burst of phone notifications. Around the VIP section, I watched as financial executives began checking their devices with increasing urgency. The Forbes article had just gone live. Breaking news. Mystery billionaire revealed. Sterling Capital founder's fortune exceeds $16 billion. Michael's champagne glass froze halfway to his lips as the first gasps echoed through the ballroom. On the massive screens meant to display birthday tributes to my father, financial news tickers began scrolling with the revelation. Sterling Capital? Amanda frowned, her perfect features creasing. Isn't that the little firm where Emily works? I stood slowly, smoothing my dress. Actually, I founded it. And own it. Completely. The silence that fell over the ballroom was absolute. Even the servers stopped mid-stride, sensing the seismic shift in the room's power dynamics. That's impossible, Michael stammered, nearly falling down the steps from his elevated perch. Sterling Capital is one of the most powerful private investment firms in the world. They've acquired half the tech startups in Silicon Valley, along with significant holdings in renewable energy, biotechnology, and digital infrastructure. I confirmed as my executive assistant James appeared with a stack of elegantly bound portfolios. Would you like to see the complete list? Victoria's hand flew to her throat, diamonds glinting. But your apartment in that unfashionable neighborhood is actually the entire top floor of the Sterling Tower, I replied. The same building where you've been trying to get on the waiting list for 2 years. I own it, by the way, along with about 30 others in Manhattan. James began distributing the portfolios to the stunned crowd. The screens now displayed Sterling Capital's complete holdings, an empire I'd built while they thought I was pushing papers at a desk. The Tesla acquisition last month, a hedge fund manager whispered. The renewable energy startup that revolutionized solar technology. All Sterling Capital, I nodded. Along with the AI company that's about to transform healthcare, the quantum computing firm that's leaving Google behind, and about 50 other little investments that have reshaped their industries. Amanda's perfect posture crumbled slightly. But you never attend the right events, never mix in proper circles. Actually, James interjected smoothly, Ms. Sterling hosts the World Economic Forum's Private Technology Summit. The guest list includes world leaders, tech pioneers, and global innovators. By invitation only, of course. The screen showed more data, Sterling Capital's remarkable growth, its revolutionary investment strategies, its transformation of entire market sectors, all orchestrated by the sister they'd relegated to standard seating. The capital required. My father finally spoke, his voice rough. The connections needed came from understanding modern markets, I replied. While Michael was chasing old money deals, I was investing in future technologies. While Amanda was planning VIP parties, I was building global networks. My phone buzzed continuously now. Congratulatory messages from business leaders, interview requests from major media outlets, partnership proposals from global institutions. The same people who'd walked past my standard table minutes ago were now desperately trying to catch my eye. Your modest income, Victoria said weakly. The budget constraints you always mentioned were part of my cover, I confirmed. It's amazing how much you can learn about potential investments when people think you're just another struggling professional. They reveal their company's weaknesses, their market vulnerabilities, their innovation gaps. The screens displayed more of Sterling's achievements, groundbreaking technologies we'd funded, market-changing companies we'd transformed, global problems we'd helped solve through strategic investment. The private jet you couldn't afford to share last month, Michael said slowly. When you took a commercial flight to that work conference, was my jet. I smiled. The conference was my Global Innovation Summit in Switzerland. Those budget accommodations? I own the hotel chain. James approached with another set of documents, the complete story of how I'd built Sterling Capital from scratch, turning market insights and technological innovation into one of the world's most powerful investment firms. Remember when you said I needed to learn about real investing? I asked Michael. I did. Every time you mocked my basic understanding of markets, I was completing another billion-dollar acquisition. Every time Amanda suggested I know my place, I was expanding Sterling's global reach. The next hour transformed not just my father's birthday celebration, but the entire power structure of Manhattan's elite social circle. The same people who had snubbed me earlier were now gravitating toward my standard table, which had suddenly become the real VIP section. Miss Sterling, Thomas Wellington approached, his earlier condescension replaced with eager respect. I had no idea you were behind the Wellington tech acquisition. Simply brilliant. The same acquisition you dismissed when I suggested it last year? I reminded him gently. When you said I couldn't possibly understand the complexities of tech valuations? The screens now displayed Sterling Capital's complete technology portfolio, dozens of innovative companies we'd acquired and transformed, creating billions in value, while solving real-world problems. But your investment strategy, Michael protested weakly. The conservative approach you always advocated was exactly what the market needed, I replied, pulling up more data. While you were chasing flashy deals and quick profits, I was building sustainable value. Every company Sterling acquires doesn't just make money, it makes a difference. Victoria stirred, her social instincts kicking in despite her shock. Perhaps we should discuss this as a family? I turned to her, my voice carrying across the now silent ballroom. Like when you banned me from family investment meetings because I was embarrassing? When you told the Astors I was unfortunately limited because I suggested investing in renewable energy? James approached with another stack of documents, Sterling's latest initiative, a $20 billion fund focused on transformative technologies and sustainable development. Remember the clean energy startup you laughed at last month? I asked Michael. Sterling bought it. It's worth $4 billion now. The medical technology Amanda said would never work? We developed it. It's saving lives in 60 countries. My father finally found his voice. The market influence required the global connections. All built while you thought I was just another struggling professional, I confirmed. Every condescending remark, every dismissed idea, every social snub gave me more motivation to succeed differently. To prove that true value isn't created in VIP sections, it's created through vision, innovation, and purpose. The screens showed Sterling's true impact, revolutionary medical treatments we'd funded, environmental technologies we developed, social problems we'd helped solve through strategic investment. Your little charity donations, Amanda said weakly, when you could only give a few thousand to my fundraisers. Were a cover, I nodded. Sterling's foundation gives away more each day than your entire social circle raises in a year. We just do it quietly, focusing on impact instead of recognition. My phone buzzed again. The president was requesting a meeting about Sterling's new climate technology initiative. The transformation was spreading faster than even I had anticipated. The standard seating, Michael said slowly, looking at his elevated VIP section with new eyes. All this time, we thought. You thought what you wanted to think, I replied. You saw what you expected to see. A standard sister who couldn't afford VIP access. Never wondering why I didn't seem to mind, or where I was really investing my time and intelligence. The ballroom had become absolutely silent, Manhattan's elite watching as years of social hierarchy crumbled. Through the windows, the city lights sparkled. The same city where Sterling Capital had quietly built an empire while hiding in plain sight. Tomorrow, I announced to the room, Sterling launches its most ambitious project yet. We're establishing a $30 billion innovation fund focused on solving global challenges. The kind of investments you all dismissed as unrealistic or too idealistic. James distributed the final set of documents, my complete vision for transforming global finance from a tool of wealth accumulation into a force for positive change. By the way, I added, gathering my things. That standard table you assigned me? It's actually the best spot in the room. Perfect sight lines, optimal acoustics, and close to the real power players, the staff who see everything and know everyone's secrets. Because sometimes the best revenge isn't sitting in the VIP section. It's building something so valuable that the very concept of VIP becomes meaningless. The car service you suggested I couldn't afford, I said to Amanda as I prepared to leave, is actually my company's fleet. The driver, who's been listening to your social climbing schemes for years, reports directly to me. The next day's headlines would call it the greatest social upheaval in Manhattan history. But it was more than that. It was proof that true power doesn't come from elevated seating or social status. It comes from seeing opportunities others miss and building value others can't imagine. James, I called out as we left, please ensure everyone gets a copy of Sterling's latest market report, especially the section on how social pretense correlates with investment failure. Because the best success story isn't about rising to the VIP section. It's about redefining what really matters while they're too busy arranging seating charts to notice. And I had redefined everything, right from my perfect spot in standard seating. As I stepped into my waiting car, James handed me one final document, tomorrow's press release announcing Sterling's newest board member, Sarah, my childhood friend who'd sat with me in standard seating all these years. Because true loyalty, like real success, isn't found in VIP sections. It's found in those who stand by you when everyone else looks down. Ready to head to the office, Miss Sterling? My driver asked. Actually, I smiled. Let's stop by my old neighborhood first. I think it's time to show the world where real empires are built, in the places they least expect.